Candy,
Adventure.
far away where sweets live,
Cotton candy clouds float up high.
rainbow fizzy strips stand up high with pride. In this land lives a nice king called King Candy.
Everyone loved him as he loved them.
In this land were bonbons,
Bubblegum
licorice,
and marshmallows. Anything you could imagine.
On one particular day they call Hatch Day, King Candy gets all the new sweets and helps them come alive.
But unfortunately, there was an error in the castle where King Candy lives, made of strong Mentos and chocolate cement. Although King Candy thought he was safe, he really wasn't.
You see, everyone has enemies. And their enemies was
The Vicious Veggies.
They were evil,
They were nasty.
but the worst thing is they are mysterious.
The Oreo Guards was going on their daily check for King Candy, but when they got to his room,
He was gone.
dun dun dun!
They immediately had a search party and all sweets went crazy.
Especially the parents with no living babies, because they might not ever live a proper sugar life.
Part 2.
Oh no!
Everyone had given up but one.
Unicorno stood standing proud because he knew he wanted to save his king.
He set off on his journey and on the way he met two people
One called Millie Marshmallow.
and the other Mimi Mint.
Then they reached the chocolate river, but the bridge had a password, but they didn't know it.
The password was really simple.
It was a word with 5 letters.
It was sugar.
Once they had passed it, the Indian gummy bears charged at Unicorno, Millie Marshmallow and Mimi Mint.
But didn't win. Unicorno ate their heads off and stabbed them to death.
But forgot about Marvin monkeys in the Lollipop Forest.
As soon as they got there, they thought it was okay.
The pink trees didn't move and it was silent.
The green jelly beans fell off the lollipop tree and they realised what had happened to them. And suddenly, gummy monkeys called Marvin and Sally Snake slithered out.
Everyone stepped back, but they were everywhere, so they sugar ran down the lane, thinking they would be able to rest. But at the back of the forest was Skittle Mania.
It's a Skittle Mountain. Part 3.
Too much sugar. They were terrified,
They knew the Skittles would fall,
but they tried and tried till the point they could sugar faint.
finally they reached the top, but fell all the way down.
They were quite pleased they got to the other side, but they were bleeding sour goo, which wasn't nice because that's what made them alive.
So they made it stop.
But now they just had to walk.
It was a long, narrow lane, stretched about 25 millions.
They knew the next thing to do was to go to the volcano, which had Coke and Mentos, and if the Mentos fell in the Coke, they would die.
So they had to be careful.
It was only a few millions away from the volcano, so they kept quiet.
Finally, they reached the volcano and crept into the cave, and there was King Candy strapped in strawberry laces and couldn't speak.
The Vicious Veggies crowded him.
Part 4. Save King Candy. Then Millie Marshmallow, Mimi Mint and Unicorno went to King Candy, while the Vicious Veggies went to their lab.
They all ripped the strawberry laces so King Candy was free.
They then saw the Vicious Veggies. They then dropped the Mento into the Coke and ran out.
When the explosion was over, they went back in and saw the Vicious Veggies were burnt and wrinkly.
So then they set off home and a different way and made it home safely. The end.